Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Learn Tarot with Moxie podcast. This week is a tarot scope week, and we'll be starting out with a 3-card reading for all of you Leo people. And then we'll be doing probably just a 1-card reading for everyone else, depending how much time I have today. But we are going to look at the energy of the month for everyone. Before we do that, though, I wanted to remind you that I am actively seeking tarot questions, both questions that are about the tarot and questions that you would like to ask for a reading. I mentioned in last week's podcast that I really do enjoy podcasting, but I get tired of feeling like I'm lecturing, and I want this to be more of an interactive community. And I know that's hard. This medium is such that just pretty much by definition, I am talking at you. But I want to have it be more about what you are looking for than what I think you need to know or need to learn, because I've shared that core knowledge with you already. And so this is your opportunity, this is your invitation to shoot me an email question about the tarot, how the tarot works, about a specific card, about a combination of cards, about all things tarot. And as I said, I'm also looking at doing some readings. Usually what I do is I will do a reading for someone, send them that reading, give them an opportunity to listen to the audio, and then we will get together and just do a debrief. And what I would like to do is offer some free readings and have those debriefs be on the air. And I want to do that for 2 reasons. Number one, because I'm selfish and I miss doing readings. I know I'm going to. So I want to be able to keep doing them. And I don't want to have to mess with cost. I don't want to have to I'm not a very good entrepreneur, I guess is the best way to put it. I just want to do this because I enjoy it and I have fun with it. And I think that it can be helpful for you. So that is the first reason. The second reason is that short of actually doing the tarot readings yourself, listening to someone else do a reading, assuming they explain the cards in detail, explain exactly what they're seeing and the logic behind what they're saying, that is a fantastic way to learn how to use the cards for yourself. So it's, again, just another teaching resource, another way that I can distill some information without feeling like, I'm having to come up with all of the content and wonder whether or not it's going to be something you guys are interested in. So I have received a couple questions on my TikTok account. Thank you very much. And please put out the word if you are interested. I have questions. I have a backlog of questions from before that I will continue to work through. But shoot me your questions if you have them. I would like to help. All right, without any further ado, let's get into the reading for Leo for the month of August already. All right. We're pulling 3 cards, and we're just looking for the general energy of the month, just to give everyone a heads up for, maybe what they can expect or what they need to look out for. And the first card is the 3 of Pentacles. Second card is the Devil. And the third card is the Magician. So the energy for the month. What I see here is that there's something potentially going on in the work realm or the vocational realm that has to do with temptation of some sort, or being ensnared by something we don't want to be ensnared by. And having the tools at our disposal to work past that, whatever that is leaving us feeling ensnared. So let's look at the cards one at a time. The first card is the Three of Pentacles, and that card is the card that points to work or vocation. Three of Pentacles is a card of being competent, being extremely competent at your work. Often it's a card of even being recognized for your level of competency or your contribution to the organization or to whatever it is you are working on or toward. The Devil is a card of pointing out or bringing to the forefront or helping us recognize where we have potential addictions, where we have potential weaknesses, where we have potential chinks in our armor that leave us vulnerable in some way. In the card itself, if you look at the Rider-Waite deck, the card is showing an image of a creepy looking devil guy, and he's up on a pedestal of sorts, and at his feet are two small humans who are literally chained by the neck to the devil. And the chains around their neck are so loose that they could slip them off themselves, pointing to a feeling of being trapped or literally being trapped by something that you actually do have the control or the power to move beyond. And then when you add the Magician, which is another major arcana card, and the Magician, that's exactly what he's about, is taking everything at his disposal, which is basically everything he needs, and creating what's next, creating something new, leading a charge toward a better place, leading a charge toward a better situation. So it is looking like there's potentially something going on with you in, like I said, in your work, in your vocation, in something that you do in cooperation with other people, something that you're good at, something that you may be getting recognition for, or maybe you have not gotten recognition for, but probably if you haven't, you should be. And there's something going on in this work realm that is either leaving you feeling maybe stuck in your job, maybe you're feeling trapped by your situation. Maybe there is a reason you want to make a change in this job, and for whatever reason, you have not found the avenue to do that. Because it's the Devil card, it's likely that whatever's holding you back is not something that's rainbows and butterflies, right? It's typically when something is getting in our way through this sort of devil energy, it's our own stuff. It could be self-esteem. It could be how you're coming across at work. It could also be sort of a positive addiction, if that makes any sense. A positive crutch, right? It could be, excuse me, it could be that, one thing that's coming up for you at work is a need to feel seen, or a need for recognition without the Devil card often comes up in relationship to something we are stuck on, something in a situation where we're stuck, in a feeling where we're stuck. And often when this card comes up, we're stuck because we are not making good choices. We are not seeing the forest for the trees. We don't realize that we have the actual ability to move beyond whatever it is. But whatever it is has really got its grips on us. And so we're in a situation where we're just feeling so stuck and so vulnerable, but we're getting something out of it at the same time, right? That's the addiction part. So let's look at that from a work perspective. Are you, because this Three of Pentacles card tells us that you are probably a rock star at whatever it is you choose to do, right? Whatever vocation or career or pathway you really choose to put your attention on, you're going to do well with that. Now, it doesn't mean that you are doing perfectly at your job. If you hate your job and you're basically just diddling around, killing time, no, that's not Three of Pentacles energy. But given something that you're really passionate about, right? That's what this is. In this situation where you have this passion for what you're doing and you know you're doing it well, but maybe, like I said, maybe you're not getting the recognition you need. And that recognition, or that lack of recognition, is really, really holding you back. Maybe it's a situation where, because you are so driven as this Three of Pentacles person, with this energy right now, and because it is important for you to be seen, and you're not being seen with this Devil card, almost like the feeling that I'm getting is almost like there's a neediness, a need to be seen, a need to be recognized, a need for that external validation. And it's getting in your way. It's getting in your way of, first and foremost, your enjoyment of doing your job, because you're one of those folks who, when you really sort of get into it, you get into the zone, you enjoy your work and you're good at it, and you just get in the groove, and things just chug along and it's awesome. But when you're not feeling good about who you are, or about, for some reason, the job you're doing, if someone maybe you feel like pull the rug out from under you and now you're questioning your ability, don't let them do that, right? That's what this is here. This card is just saying, hey, this is something that could be coming up for you this month. Keep an eye out for whatever it is in relationship to work, and whatever it is in relationship to whatever you might need a little bit too much, the validation, maybe you're just flat out freaking addicted to working. Maybe you don't know how to take a break. That can be a devil thing too, right? It doesn't matter what it is. If it's something that feels negative, that doesn't feel good to you, that is hanging over your head, that's the Devil card. So we have something going on where this is the energy that's available, right? You've got this kick-ass, get it done, Three of Pentacles energy, but there's something here, or potentially here, that's going to kind of bite you in the fanny, that might leave you feeling undermined and feeling like it's sort of sucked some of that self-confidence that you had out of the room. And the last card is our saving grace for this reading, because this last card is a reminder that you do indeed have what it takes. You don't need that external validation. You don't need that external recognition. You are able, through your skill set, because you've got your wands and you have your cups and you have your pentacles and you have your wands right there on the table in front of you at your disposal, and all you need to do is put the energy into manifesting what it is you want to manifest. Okay? So what it looks like to me is that there is some potential here for some challenging energy around work, around your vocation, and you're going to need to look inside to figure this one out. You're going to need to look at what it is that's making you feel this icky way that we feel when the devil card is hanging around. You know, this vulnerable, this a little bit insecure, this maybe confused, maybe stuck energy. So remember that that's there. Remember that it's a possibility. And then, so take a deep breath and take that collar that is on your head in the death card, lift it over your head and leave it there and walk over to your magician card, which is the next one. Pick up those tools and create what it is you want to create. Okay? So some tough energy, but some possibility for shifting it in the way that anything is possible. Hello, Virgo. Happy August. I pulled two cards for you today, and both cards are pentacles, and both cards are court cards. So we have the King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. The combination of these two cards together, where we have the King, who's the head honcho of the Pentacles, right? The King who is all about being able to run a business with his eyes closed, really having mastery and control over all things business, organization, the material world. And then we have the Page of Pentacles, who is the youngster. So we've got the elder and the youngster here. The Page of Pentacles, who is all about just dipping their toe into the pentacles at this point. They're just coming into recognition of who they are as an individual, of where they fit into the world, and in this case, where they fit into the world of the Pentacles. These are younger, adolescent people, usually. And so Pentacle energy through the Page of Pentacles is new and exciting and a sense of adventure almost. So when we combine these two cards, we have this wisdom, this experience, this rock solid, what do I want to call it? Foundation. And then we also have new beginnings. So what I'm seeing here, and remember that Pentacles are indeed about money, they're indeed about business, they're indeed about financial things, but they're also about the material world. And they can even be about our health, right? Because it's in the physical realm. So what I'm seeing here is this combination of cards is suggesting that something in the material world, something in the realm of Pentacles, very possibly money, very possibly something in the financial realm, something in the realm of material objects, material things, stuff, business. There's something going on where there's a new opportunity, or there's potentially a new opportunity coming your way. And this King of Pentacles is either referring to you or to someone in your orbit who has the ability to work with you and be a part of this new beginning. this new project is what it really feels like. It's like, okay, you've been looking for something new, you've been looking for a new project, and you haven't really felt quite comfortable yet. You're not really you haven't been able to sink your teeth into it yet. It just hasn't felt right in all of the ways. Your knowledge, your wisdom, your intuition as the King of Pentacles here is solid enough that hopefully if you haven't been listening, you probably got knocked upside the head a couple times. But now, this is the opportunity, right? Now the time is right for creating whatever it is you are trying to create and build. And take advantage of the combination of this new, excited, almost like apprenticeship style energy here, in that the Page of Pentacles is just an eager participant and an eager learner, and potentially bringing you some sort of new life to a current project, or a new project in this realm that is going to really, really work well as you are able to mesh your knowledge, your wisdom, your grown-uppedness with this new, youthful, exciting energy. And combining the two is really what's going to make things possible in this realm in the month of August. Hello, Libra. Let's see what's going on with you for the month of August. Queen of Swords and Six of Swords. Interesting. Whereas the other three queens are seen as a little bit motherly and matronly in some ways, the Queen of Swords, I never ever think of as a mother figure. I think of her as an authority figure, as a boss, as a judge, as someone who is in a position of authority, who has people reporting to her, who essentially spends her time waiting for people to tell her things. And she doesn't want any nonsense. She doesn't want any humor or sarcasm or or humanity is kind of the way I look at her. And that's probably a harsh estimation. But yes, that is a harsh estimation. I take that back, because I do often think of Ruth Bader Ginsburg when I think of the Queen of Swords, and I know that she was an incredible human and definitely exhibited a lot of humanity throughout her life. And she was that type of rigid person in some ways as well. I have seen documentaries about her where she was talking about her early married life. And at that point in history, she was remarkable just because she was working full time and she was in the legal profession and she was doing well and moving up the ladder, so to speak. But she also felt that it was her responsibility to be the housewife and, do all of the cooking and this and that. And she hated to cook. And she said she sucked at it. And she had this repertoire of 6 things plus one night out to dinner a week. I don't know. Something along those lines, 6 recipes. And that's what she learned how to cook. And she approached it very analytically and very scientifically. And yet, She's also known from a professional standpoint as a remarkable and a remarkably strong woman who really, truly made it her mission to use the Supreme Court to do right by people as much as she could within the Supreme Court. And of course, as much as she could within the Constitution and all of the political yada yada stuff that you have to keep in mind. My point being, that's who I think of when I think of the Queen of Swords, right? So this is energy around you this month. So there may be something going on with you, a project where you have a boss or a superior that sort of has this vibe or this energy. It could be a situation where you're stepping into this energy for some reason this month. Are you stepping into a project? Are you stepping into something where you maybe need to leave behind a little bit of your Wands energy and a little bit of your Cups energy and really cultivate the analytical, sharp thinking, air, fire energy of the Swords? So, something to consider. Who is this around you? What energy is, why is this energy around you? And then we have the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords never really seems to me like it should be a sword card. It always seems like it should be a cup card. Nevertheless, it is a sword card. And the essential core meaning of this card is moving from difficulty into ease, moving from storm into calm. Now, because it is the Swords, it's likely that this movement is going to be occurring in the mental realm, in the realm of ideas, in the realm of thoughts. Is it likely that this calm, forward-moving energy is going to be out ooey gooey woo energy? No, probably not. More than likely, what's coming up is there's going to be some easing of some tension somewhere. There's going to be some maybe clarity coming through on a big decision. And the more I'm talking, the more I'm starting to feel like this Queen of Swords in this reading really is not so much someone outside of you, Virgo. It's feeling more like the Queen of Swords is actually you. And there's something in your mind, there's something on your mind, there's something weighing on you. And as the Queen of Swords, you have a lot, that's a lot of heavy, serious energy. That's something that's weighing on you right now, something you're pondering, trying to decide, looking at all of the options, weighing out. That's going to that's going to become more clear to you. That's going to become less of a mental turmoil for you. That you're moving in a direction from a position where something is potentially kind of roiled up, where something has kind of got you on your Queen of Swords throne with your guard up. And whatever that is that energy is going to be moving on. That energy is going to be dissipating somewhat. So while it may not be, a peaches and cream month for you, everything may not be super easy, know that you can count on your own Queen of Swords energy. You can count on your own solid analytical skills, your own ability to, the word that keeps coming up is conjure, but conjure doesn't make any sense to me, but we're going to go with it because that's what's coming up. So, and your ability to conjure up what it is you're trying to conjure up, right? What it is you're trying to figure out, whatever it is you've got your eye on, that you're trying to bring in, figure out, and allow or enable or promote working for you, right? So moving out of a phase of difficulty where there's tension into something where things are moving forward in the direction that you want, in a direction that feels good, and in a direction that's more calm and manageable. Hello, Scorpio. Happy August. Let's see what the cards have in store for you this month. Nice. We have the Sun and Strength. Holy moly. All right, Scorpio. Well, I'm just handing you the keys to the car here, basically. The gods are shining on you. Let's just put it that way. The Sun is a card. Well, first of all, let me back up. These are both major arcana cards. These are both what I would consider very positive major arcana cards. The Sun is a card of, if there was a rainbows and butterflies card in the tarot, it would be the Sun. It's a card of things going the way you want them to go. It's a card of a certain level of hard-earned joy, happiness, and success. And quite simply, anytime this card comes up, it's pretty much a good thing. And with that, we've got the Strength card. The Strength card in general, meaning literally strength, right? It could be an emotional strength, it could be physical strength, it could be mental strength, but it is strength nevertheless. It's the ability to handle something we may not have thought we could handle. It is the faith that we have in ourselves when something is challenging and we need to just step up, take that deep breath, and do it. And so this combination of cards this month, I'm pausing here because I want to just double check and make sure intuitively that these two cards are connected, that they're not two separate cards. And meaning, are these two cards meant to be interpreted together and interpreted as, well, holy cow, you have the world at your fingertips this month. You've got the strength and the fortitude to do whatever it is you want to do. And you have the positive energy of the Sun card backing that up. And they're supporting one another all the way. The other interpretation, just because this is a teaching podcast as well, I want to include this. The other interpretation or the other possible meaning is that the Sun is indicating that there is something amazing coming up, that, all of the success, all of the positivity that we talked about earlier, but that the cards are not necessarily so connected, and that there's something about which you will need to have the strength of this Strength card to work through it. But that's not what I'm getting, okay? So I'm hoping that's not confusing. I'm just trying to make sure you see that there are a couple different possibilities here. But from an intuitive perspective, from a gut perspective, from a, opening up and letting things flow, now that we've talked about the specifics of the cards, what I'm feeling is that these cards are really not so much about specific events, that they truly are about just the energy of the month, the energy that is available of strength and positivity, and what you try is going to work out, along with having the strength and the fortitude, mental, emotional, whatever, to actually take the steps and accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish with this particular energy at your disposal this month. So yeah, good on you. Go do something wonderful with it. All right, let's hope that a little bit of that Scorpio energy hung around here. We'll see what we can pull up for Sagittarius. Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups. Whoo! Well, ask and ye shall receive. That's what my mother always said. I don't know why, because it wasn't true, but in this case it is true. Okay, Ace of Wands and Ace of Cups. Lots of new possibilities for you this month, Sagittarius. Wands, we know, are all about positive forward momentum, getting things done, things moving, sometimes in the way we want them to move, and sometimes, if we're not careful and our energy is not balanced, then the energy of the wands can be wonky. But they are all about movement nevertheless, whether it's wonky movement, kind of a herky-jerky mess, or whether it is just nice, smooth, positive momentum in the direction you want it to go. And then we have our cups, our beautiful, lovely, emotional, creative, intuitive cups. And we have two aces. And aces, as you remember, are all about new possibility, right? If we look at a scale from 1 to 10, with 1 being a seed, possibility, potential energy, and 10 being the oak tree, then we have all of this potential energy, right? All of this seed energy available in both wands and in cups. So what are you going to do with this energy? Is this something that is available for you to use, where you can decide what it is? Maybe you've got a project that you've been working on that you want to really move forward. What it feels like to me is tons and tons of potential and potential energy. When I say that, and I mean like, if you remember back in high school, and trust me, I didn't take physics, but in one of my sciencey classes, there's potential energy and there is kinetic energy. And potential energy is energy waiting to be happening, right? Energy raring to go. Like if you take a spring and you squeeze it between your fingers and hold it tight so all of the coils of the spring are compressed, that's potential energy. And that's what's available to you both in wands and in cups this month. So if there's something that you have been wanting to start, this is the time to do it. What I'm trying to get a feel for is, I always think of wands as very, very action oriented, and I always think of cups as very, very emotional, intuitive, creative, that type of thing. So it's what looks like to me is that whatever this endeavor is, whatever this new idea, whatever this new possibility, this potential energy that is available in the wands, is either in the creative realm, it's in the emotional realm, or it's tied to you somehow. in the creative or the emotional realm as this new possibility. But it's almost like, we could look at it as you finally having the courage to act on some sort of deep-seated emotional release. Okay, I mean, we could look at it completely fully from the emotional head perspective, or we could look at it from the physical perspective where, hey, I'm just the Ace of Cups. Oh my gosh, it's all of this positive energy that's just waiting for me. It's like a little pool of goldenness sitting there waiting for you to dip your little spoon into. So now you just need to figure out what it is you want to do and make it happen. So you can look at it both from, the very, very mental headspace, or as sort of mental, psychological, emotional permission to start this thing that this Ace of Wands energy is making available to you. So either way you read it, it's good stuff. Hello, Capricorn. I pulled 2 cards this month, and you're going to like them, I think, if you are a typical Capricorn. We have the Ace of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles. So if you remember, Wands are all about movement, action, getting things done, and Pentacles are all about the earthly realm, material things, money, our health, our physical health, our bodies. And these 2 cards are both really nice cards in and of themselves. The Ace of Wands, because it's the ace and it's a number 1, is a card of new beginnings. The deck I'm using, the Tarot of Mystical Moments by Katrine Welts-Stein, I absolutely love. I may actually end up doing a review on this deck because I like it so well. The Ace of Wands in this deck is very clearly articulating what the Ace of Wands is all about, right? It's a woman, and she's opening an enormous book, and from the inside of this book is sprouting and growing, apparently very quickly, a beautiful, huge peony flower. So that is our clear indication, right? That is positive, forward momentum, new growth, new movement, and somewhat spontaneous, right? I mean, she's just opening up this book. She's not planning. She's not doing anything. This is just like, it's here for her. This is the energy that's available. And then we have our trusty 3 of Pentacles, the card that tells us we're doing a good job, the card that tells us that we are competent and that we should have confidence in our skills and that other people recognize our skills and that we are good at what we do. Often the 3 of Pentacles is about getting recognition for the work that you have done. So when we combine these cards, I'm thinking that something new is coming up, certainly in the work realm. It looks almost like something new, or there's potential for some new energy, potential for some action around who you are at work, who people know you as at work, your level of competence, your level of confidence, new recognition, maybe like potential promotion energy, or something that you've been wanting someone to at work to look at with you, to recognize that it's it's a project that's worth doing, or a person, or something worth investing in your work. This is a good time. The energy is such that this is a good time to promote that, to maybe push a little bit harder for that, to ask one more time really nicely for that. Because it's this balance between you knowing your value, you knowing what it is that you are trying to accomplish, and people starting to recognize you for it. And if they start to recognize you for it, then you need to start to, or you don't need to, but it's available to you. There you go. To bring in something new that's important to you, an idea. And it's Ace of Wands, right? So it's action oriented. If it was the Ace of Swords, I would say, oh, it's time to bring in new ideas, new talent, that type of thing. Because it's Ace of Wands, it's almost feeling like it's not time to bring in new ideas, it's time to act on something that's already been out there. Something that needs that catalyst energy to really allow it to grow. Okay? So wonderful, beautiful combined reading. And remember that pentacles don't always have to do with work, right? They can have to do with a project that you've been doing on your own. It could be something that you've been working on in your community. It could be a family project where you've been trying to get everybody together for a family reunion, and for whatever reason, people always say, oh yeah, let so-and-so do it because, she's good at that stuff. She organizes everything. She's great at it. So you're getting recognition. But now you're finally getting the go-ahead to do it, right? To plan that trip wherever you want to go. So remember that when we talk about the pentacles, we often think of work and business. It can be in any area of competency in the material world. Okay? So go out and get them. Looks like this is your time. All right, Aquarius, let's try this. Got interrupted 2 other times, so let's see where we go. First card for the month of August. King of Pentacles. Second card for the month of August. 5 of Wands. Okay. So we went through the King of Wands in the first tarot scope, so I don't want to bore you with an entire explanation of the card again. Let's just suffice it to say that, the King of Pentacles is the guy who is at the top of the feeding chain when it comes to pentacles. He is the one who he's the one that you want to run your business. He's just organized. He is not the most exciting person in the world, but he is very, very good at what he does and can just take a process or something in the material world and make it hum along quite nicely. And we can look at it in the realm of business, we can look at it in the realm of physical objects or our bodies because it's pentacles. Now the 5 of Wands is a card of some confusion, a card of not necessarily negativity, just a card of either too many hands in the pot or some lack of clarity around what it is we should be doing to move to the next stage. The deck that I'm using again today is this Tarot of Mystical Moments. And this 5 of Wands card is very, very different from the one in the Rider-Waite deck, which is, the one with all of the teenage boys basically in a cluster, just doing stupid teenage boy stuffs with their sticks. Confusion, certainly. Lack of direction, certainly. But this image I really like. This 5 of Wands is a woman who is using her skirt as a chessboard. And she's very, very thoughtful. She's got one chess figure in one hand and one chess figure in the other, and she's looking and she's pondering, and you can tell she's just really struggling with, I don't know which one to move, I don't know which way to go. I'm struggling with this Five of Wands energy, right? Just this confusion, this lack of clarity, this cluster of things, so to speak. You like my squeaky chair? It's very squeaky. Sorry about that. Okay. So when we look at these cards together, what I see is someone who is potentially in a position of typically knowing what to do, typically having a lot of facility around the practical things in life, right? King of Pentacles, someone who, oh, okay, well, this is what happens. This is what we do when this happens. No problem. Oh, that happens? Well, we do this other thing when that happens. Well, that energy is getting bollocksed up a little bit with the Five of Wands. The King of Pentacles is potentially starting to question some of his normally very clear, confident decisions. There's somehow, somewhere in the mix, there is some confusion, something that doesn't feel quite right or seem quite right, that is going to have to be looked at maybe through a different lens than one would normally look through. So while I would never say that this is a difficult or challenging little reading here, I would say that just be aware that there may be something that's around this month that's going to throw you for a little bit of a loop, that you may have to step out of that King of Pentacles energy in order to be able to really resolve. So maybe it's something that's going to come, in a little bit more of an emotional realm, or something that's you're going to need to step into more sympathy, empathy, that type of thing, and out of the analytical thinking in order to address or solve whatever it is that's going on. Like I said, it doesn't feel like anything huge. It doesn't feel like anything earth-shattering. More than anything, it feels like something that could shake your confidence. And for those who live in King of Pentacles energy, that's a pretty uncomfortable place to be. So just heads up, okay? All right. Hello, Pisces. Let's see what's going on with you this month. We have the Two of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. Okay. It looks like there is potential for something that you maybe have been juggling, something that you maybe have been trying to work out or balance out is going to become resolved, okay? And where am I getting that? I'm getting that because the Two of Pentacles is a card of learning to find balance. It's a card of recognizing that life is chaotic and it's always going to be going on around us. It's always going to be there in the background. And to be happy, healthy, safe, and all of those things, we need to learn to balance out how to deal with everything that we have to deal with in this crazy world. A lot of times this also can be related to balancing out physical things, not balancing, not literally like, putting two things on a scale, but balancing out energy in the material world. Remember, pentacles are about the material world, money, yada, yada. So that's where the balance portion of this is coming from. And then we have this potential for some release, this potential for some easing of what's going on. And that's coming from the Six of Swords, because the Six of Swords is a card of moving from difficulty into more ease. That's not to say that suddenly everything is going to become simple and idealistic and easy, but it is to say that this energy is available to you this month. This Six of Swords energy, which takes us from the troubled waters into the calm. This Six of Swords energy that gives us a safe place to harbor or anchor when we're feeling discombobulated, when we're feeling like we're doing... Have you ever seen those plate jugglers? They put plates on a stick and then they... Not jugglers, spinners. And they spin the plates. And that's this Two of Pentacles energy, right? Is keeping those plates spinning. You've got one spinning in one hand and one spinning in the other, and they're not only spinning, but they're having to balance at the same time. And maybe just somebody is putting a banana peel down right in front of you for you to step on in the process. So that's the Two of Pentacles energy that is able to be toned down, right? It's maybe taking your plates and instead of spinning them on sticks, now spinning them on the tips of your fingers, so you've got a little bit more control, right? It's just this energy available to you where you can rein it in. What I see is like sort of sucking your own energy vortex back into yourself and using that energy as fuel and as something to hold on to maintain that sense of equilibrium and that sense of balance that the Two of Pentacles is making clear you might be having to do a lot of this month. So yeah, take a look at, where are you feeling a little overwhelmed in your life? Where are you feeling a little bit like you're juggling too many things at the same time? Where is it you feel like if you could just get a little bit of help, things will get easier? And know that that little bit of help is available, that energy is around you this month. It might mean having a little bit of faith and putting down something that you're juggling for a little while and just letting things be. It might be turning off your mind for a little while and giving yourself a break, going and doing something different, going and doing something fun, going and breaking the weird trance that we can sometimes get into around being hyper-focused on something that we're trying to manage. And simply by doing that, simply by giving yourself permission to take that break, to ease up on yourself, to ease up on the situation, to stop freaking juggling everything, you'll allow some of that Six of Swords energy to find you. Hey Aries, how's life this month so far? Oh, it's the first. Never mind. All right, Aries, let's see what we come up with for you. We have the Eight of Swords and Justice. Whew. Okay. How you doing, Aries? Got some pretty serious energy on you this month, or around you this month. Well, let's start by just talking through the cards. So we have the Eight of Swords, which is the card that seems to pop up when we're feeling trapped in some way, when we're feeling stuck, confused, not knowing which way to go. And then we have the Justice card, which is a major arcana card that comes up around literally the theme of justice. What's right and what's wrong, balancing out the positive and the negative, formal, what's the word I'm looking for? Societal institutions, that type of thing. When we get the Eight of Swords, the thing that we need to remember is that it's within our power to escape this feeling of being trapped. And that's harder to do when things are really challenging, right? But that is something you need to remember. You know, you are sitting in an open cage. Other images that I'm sure you've seen, you know, the traditional one with the woman, her arms are bound and she's blindfolded. She can't see. She's not really sure where she is. But she's surrounded by 8 very, very, very sharp swords. And behind her, so even if her eyes were open, she wouldn't be able to see. Behind her, up on the cliff, is a home or a castle or some sort of civilization where she wouldn't be all alone. She wouldn't be out in the middle of this, looks like some sort of watery abyss. And so all of this stuff is going on, and yet if she just had the intuition, right, or the knowledge, or had been able to, or was able to just lean a tiny bit in any direction, those bindings are going to fall off. And then she can untie the blindfold, and then she can see where she's going, right? So when the Eight of Swords comes up, it often comes up when we're feeling just stuck. You know, are you feeling stuck at work? Are you feeling stuck in a relationship? Are you just feeling overwhelmed by something? And the Justice card comes up when there is something related to justice. Thankfully, this is a very literal card, right? And justice is a very literal card. So when we think of justice, you know, we're thinking of literally the scales of justice type of thing. But it is a major arcana card, so it carries more weight, right? So the combination of these two cards leads me to believe that at some point this month, if it's not here already, there's going to be something that has got you feeling really stuck and potentially pissed off because it's not fair, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel just, it feels unfair, and you're not quite sure why you're here or why you are stuck in this position. So this is not certainly a sentence that this is what's going to happen for you this month, but this is the type of energy that is around you this month. So be aware, and let's pick another card because this doesn't feel really lovely. Let's pick another card related to something practical that you can do. So now we know what the energy of the month is. You know, when the energy of the month is good, we don't really feel the need to do a whole lot about it. But when the energy of the month is really challenging, let's pull another card and ask that card to give us some practical ideas for how we can manage this feeling of being stuck, of being trapped, of not knowing what to do, and not feeling like it's fair to boot. King of Cups. The King of Cups brings a stability to the situation. she, because in my deck she is a she. The King of Cups in this image is literally an enormous, looks like a granite cliff through which a ship is sailing. And I got to do a review on these cards. They're so cool. And this king woman's headdress is an octopus. It's just so cool. But the card itself and the King of Cups is all about this very calm, solid, dependable energy that you can call up, that you can conjure forth, that you can call up from yourself, from inside of you, to help you through some of this. And just because that didn't feel like enough, I pulled another card. And we've got the Five of Wands here, so that feels a little bit better. So we've got the King of Cups that is this solid, calming force, almost. I wouldn't even call it an energy. I would call it more of a force. It's just a very, very powerful feeling. So the suggestion that you call that part of yourself forth. And with this next card, which is the Five of Wands, look at where the confusion lies, okay? This reading in general, I would say, is really about what is going on in your head. This is a very head space type of situation. And so while you want to bring in the King of Cups for his calming energy, for the tone that he can bring to the situation, we want to remember to use our analytical minds. And that's what this Five of Wands is suggesting. It's like, yep, things are confusing. Things are clearly confused. It's time to really sit and take a look at what is what. And remember, we talked about this particular deck. The Five of Wands is a woman's in a chessboard. And she is consciously planning, thinking. You can almost see the wheels turning in her head, where she's got these chess pieces and she's manipulating them and she's moving them around, almost in an effort to see the solution to the problem. So while the general energy is indeed challenging, and I'm sorry about that, Aries, take advantage of the King of Cups energy that's always there to help you as well, and use your analytical self, right? Use that King of Cups energy to sort of take you out of the emotional space, to help you manage the emotions, which are often what gets in our way when we're trying to solve a problem, right? So give him your emotions, and then take a look with this Five of Wands card and really start to look at the pieces, move the pieces around, see how they fit best. And then you'll start to realize, hopefully, that you're not really truly as trapped or as stuck as you might be feeling. That once you start to look at and problem solve things, especially knowing that you've got justice on your side, or if things are feeling unjust, you can solve that or address that injustice by looking at what's so, bringing facts, bringing whatever it is that you need to bring into the light to change the situation. Hello, Taurus. How's everything? Let's see what's up for you this month. We have the Nine of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. we have two pretty contradictory cards here today. We have the Nine of Pentacles, which is often seen as a card of great material wealth and abundance, of peace and equanimity, and just life being luscious and good. It's like what every Taurus would want their life to be. You know, a life of material comfort, nature, earthiness, relative ease. For my deck today, the Nine of Pentacles card is portrayed actually quite similarly to the traditional Rider-Waite deck. It's a woman in a garden. She's got a bird on her finger. She has an apple in her hand, and on her head, she has a headdress made of luscious, ripe red fruit and flowers. And so it's, you know, it's just this very verdant is the word that comes to mind. And rich feeling card, and not rich like wealth, but rich as in just connected and all is right with the world kind of thing. However, we also have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a card of either winning through an unfair advantage, cheating, or being the victim of someone who has won through an unfair advantage. In the traditional Rider-Waite deck, we see three men. One man is gleefully, just the look on his face, you just want to, you know, do the mom thing and say, wipe that look off your face. Just this cocky, jerky look on his face because he's got more swords than anybody else. And then you've got, you know, the dejected other two people over in the background, right? This guy has unfairly accumulated these swords. Whether he stole them, whether he fought unfairly for them, doesn't matter. He was not being cool. And so we have this tension here, right, between this card of winning something through an unfair advantage or losing something through someone else having an unfair advantage, and the Nine of Pentacles, which is this, like I said, this luscious, the word that I am looking for is not coming into my head. All right, the word I think I'm looking for is fecund. It's this card of possible lusciousness and abundance. Okay, so we have these conflicting energies here. And there are a couple possible ways we could look at it. We could look at it as though, yes, the Nine of Pentacles card, this woman has everything she, at least on the surface, right? Because this is, we're looking at all material things here. On the surface, this woman has everything she could possibly want, every physical comfort she could want. And yet, lurking in the background, there is something that is pulling away at her joy, meaning there's the potential for something going on in the background for you this month. It could be getting in the way of your ability to really enjoy the good stuff. And an example of that might be, let's say you come into some sort of, let's say you receive a windfall this month. That's our Nine of Pentacles, right? Well, what if you're not feeling completely deserving of that windfall? There's your Five of Swords, right? It's like, oh, well, I won. I got the money, but I don't really feel really like I deserved it. You know, it was great Aunt Edna, and I haven't talked to her or written a letter to her, you know, since 1989, and yet she left me this whatever in her will. It could be that kind of dynamic, right? Where we have everything that we think we want, but there's something nagging at us that just is getting in the way of our enjoying the things that we have. The other possible way to look at it, and I would hope this isn't the case, but the other possible way to look at it is, you're going to be coming into something that you are really going to enjoy this month, and yet you're going to have to really question and look at your own motivation and your own ethics and your own integrity behind getting what it is you really want this month. So, Taurus, this isn't a rainbows and butterfly. I think to simplify it, I would just say be wary of things that come to you a little bit too easily this month. Be wary of things that seem a little bit too good to be true, because there is the possibility that somehow they made their way to you through something that just wasn't quite right, not quite kosher. And it also is a reminder, and while none of us likes to think of ourselves this way, life is such that we get tempted sometimes. Make sure that whatever it is you're doing to create this Nine of Pentacles energy in your life right now, because it's there for you, right? I'm not saying don't take it. Just make sure that what you're doing to achieve this Nine of Pentacles energy is in integrity, and then you won't have any problems. Hey, Gemini. Let's see what's going on. All right. Ooh, the World. Man, this Three of Pentacles, it's the third time it's come up this time. Okay, well, in a nutshell, things are going very, very, very well. Or there is the potential for things to go very, very, very well for you in the month of August as related to your work, your vocation, some sort of project that you are really, really involved in and that you are really, really good at, and for which you actually should be starting to get some recognition if you're not already. The World is the last card in the Major Arcana, and it's the culmination of everything, right? It's the kindergarten graduation. It's the coming together of all of everything that we've learned. If we look at the Major Arcana as the Fool's journey, which we've talked about before, with the Fool being the first card, as he steps off that cliff into the abyss, and the last card being the World, where the Fool has traveled through every single card in the majors. They've gone through all of these challenges and all of these ups and these downs, and now they are at a point where they have the wisdom and the clarity to basically shine in whatever way they want to shine. So when we compare this with the Sun, the Sun is very much the same way in terms of the positivity, in terms of the accomplishment, but the World is more on a broad lifetime scale, weighing out and looking at, I look at it almost as like a little bit of a, you got your karmic shit figured out card. Whereas the Sun is more immediate and related to what's going on in your world today. The World is just a bigger scale, a bigger, more tapped into the universe vibe than that. So we have that card here with the Three of Pentacles, which is all about doing a good job at whatever it is you do, and whatever it is and it could be, I often bring up pentacles around work, but pentacles is whatever your work is, right? So I don't want you to feel like if you are choosing to stay at home for a little while right now that this doesn't count. I don't get to qualify for the Three of Pentacles because I'm not out in the working world. No, what I'm saying is that you just need to look at whatever it is your focus is for right now. And that is where you need to put the value for the Three of Pentacles. Don't assume that it has to be traditional work related. So we have the combination of these cards, and basically the energy is that you're the rock star this month, even more so when it came up in relationship to the sun, right? You are the rock star. You are the one who can see the big picture. You are maybe wrapping something up, maybe finishing up some sort of large project. Maybe you're closing your business. Whatever this is in relationship to, it's a culmination. It's a like I said, it's a graduation. So there is some incredible energy available for supporting you, for supporting what it is you're trying to accomplish, and helping you bring it into fruition this month. So take advantage of it and do something amazing. And something amazing could be solving world hunger, or it could be something super simple. It could be, I just feel like a rock star, man. I had a good week at work. I got recognized for what I did. I got this accomplished at home. So-and-so, my family, my partner said, thank you for this. It just could be something as simple as that, but it could also be something much more. So keep your eyes open and enjoy. All right, Cancer, let's see what's up. First card we have is, holy macaroni, the Ace of Wands again, and the Nine of Cups. Whew. There have been some really, really fun card combinations this month. Lots of new stuff coming up, lots of new energy coming through, lots of new possibility coming through. So the Ace of Wands, as we've already talked about pretty in depth in this episode, is all about new beginnings in the realm of activity, in the realm of motion, in the realm of possibility, moving a project forward, taking the steps you need to take to accomplish something that you've wanted to accomplish forever. And the Nine of Cups is the card of having more than enough. It's the card, if you can recall from the Rider-Waite deck, it's a really simple card. It's a merchanty looking person sitting on a bench, and behind him are 9 full cups, right? It's like, he hit the mother lode. So when we combine this energy of ask and ye shall receive, or you have already received because you've got these 9 cups full of whatever it is you want them to be full of, and the Ace of Wands energy, which is new beginnings. I'm not really sure what you could not do this month. Typically cups are in the realm of emotions, intuition, that type of thing. But we're also talking about wands where we've got action. So this is just a really nice combination of energy where there's a lot of new possibility and every indication that the energy is such that whatever is begun through this possibility with the Ace of Wands is going to be fruitful, or that whatever is possible through, did I say Nine of Wands? Nine of Cups. Whatever is possible through this Nine of Cups, the energy that this Nine of Cups is bringing is going to open the door for this Ace of Wands energy. So it's sort of a chicken and the egg thing. You know, we aren't really sure, is this where the Ace of Wands is going to bring Nine of Cups energy, or the Nine of Cups energy is here, and using that, you are able to use that Nine of Cups energy to basically tap into the Ace of Wands and move things in the direction that you want them to go, at least for a little while, right? So remember that Ace energy is not perma energy. It's not, a constant. It's something, I usually look at it a few months at the most, where you have this vibe of possibility around you. So keep that in mind as well. But I would say your biggest challenge at this point is going to be, deciding, if you don't already have something in mind that these cards are just basically fulfilling for you, deciding what you're going to do with all of this possibility, because there is a crap load of it here. And, if half of the people that hear this reading, not this reading, but this month in particular, has been really, really great with tons of possibility, tons of new beginnings. A couple of us have had more challenging readings, but for the most part, it's been kind of a joy to read some of these positive readings for a change. And so do something fantastic with it, and let me know what you did. All right, that is the Taroscope for the month of August. Please do with it what you will. Take what resonates and leave the rest. And remember that I am always looking for questions about the tarot, about how to use the tarot, about anything related to the tarot for our question and answer episodes. Have a great week, everybody, and I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.